Alright, let's get ready to leave, guys. You have seen me with this wig before. I actually had it in a ponytail, as you can see behind there. If you are someone who actually wears a wig, how do you go swimming? Do you actually swim with a wig? Question mark. Do you? Do you trust yourself in the water? They conquered them to give me victory. My Redeemer lives. All of creations testify, and this light within me cry. I know my Redeemer lives. Yeah. You know how they used to make you like do those songs when you were young, and then it's just would be like, dance like this. I took myself back there. I'll take a little bit of this color. Oh, that's too much. Then I'm going to take the darker one so that I can just mix and find my skin tone. I'm not as dark as I thought I would be. You can apply it while the primer is still damp. There you have it. This is a random fact. So before I get my period, I usually diarrhea, and I diarrhea so bad. So bad, you would think I ate something bad. And it is a painful diarrhea because the way your stomach hurts, I can't even describe it. Comment down if that is one of your symptoms, because the diarrhea, imagine having that every single month of your entire existence until probably my periods will ever stop. But yeah, when I have my period, I get really bad diarrhea, and then I get backaches. Well, let's just talk about this, guys. What is your period experience for you? For you, what happens before you get your period? Do you even know? And then for me, I have not been on any contraceptives or all those things that people take so that they don't have a regular period or period become irregular. So mine is regular. So Benjamin and I, we use the days, like you count the days, and then you know your safe days. So that's how we do it. I decided I am not going to put anything that is, I was trying to look for what is going to be the one that's comfortable for me, that's not going to give me any side effects. There are some that make you really gain weight, like really gain weight. And then there's some that make your period very like irregular, or you don't see your period for a very long time. I didn't want to use anything that would make my body react a certain way. And also, I think I like being in control, especially with something that I can control, and especially when it's something to do with medicine. Plus, I'm not very good with medicine. Like, you will tell me to take medicine in the morning, in the afternoon, no. So I couldn't. There went the pills. Like the pills, there's no way. I can't remember taking them. If I cannot remember taking Tylenol or something for pain, headache pain, I cannot remember taking the pills. So that was out of the picture. Then there was the one that they put here, and then I read the side effects. I was like, no, I'm good. I am good. And I know there's people who take it because their period is extreme. So I know that there's people who take it because of medical reasons, like medically they really cannot handle menstrual period every single month and what it does to their body. I know there's that, but for me, because generally my pains are like this. I get really bad backaches, like really bad, and then the backaches, once I start feeling the backaches, I start feeling my stomach turning, and then I know Then the day of my diarrhea, the next day I usually know my period is coming. So when I just diarrhea, I just know this one was just explosive diarrhea. I know the next day I'm going to have my period. So I usually have my pad on. If it's nighttime and I diarrhea at nighttime, I will have my pad on when I'm going to sleep, or during the day I'll have the pad on, because I I also don't use tampons. I feel like I can't shove anything that does not belong in there. And also there's been so many horror stories. If you know me, you know I'm a very critical person. So like things like tampons, and then I hear a horror story about tampons, I'm just very critical of that. I'm not saying that all pads are good pads, because I've had pads that have made me itch so bad. And so there's also pads that are not really particularly good, so you have to find the right one. The ones that I use, even when I was in Kenya, I used to use just cotton. If you know your body, you will know what your body likes and what your body doesn't like. Also, if you're thinking that I'm doing like extreme makeup, not really. This is like the do you really have makeup on type of makeup, that makeup. So yeah, I said the way I know my period is coming, I get backaches, and then I have an app. I actually do have an app that I follow, and the app will tell me whether I am 4 days close to my period. It's usually off by 2 days or 3 days. So either I'll get my period 2 days early or 2 days late. So if last month I got my period 2 days late, I know that this month I'll get it 2 days early. So usually I'm very prepared. So I'm very particular when it comes to the app, because I follow it down to like the nitty-gritty. Used it since I was in Kenya, and then the good thing is that you can back it up. You can back up your data, and then you can share it with your significant other if they really care about that kind of stuff. And also you can actually do the temperature taking thing. So we tried that, but I was not very good, because with the temperature, so there's this thing, if you don't know the temperature taking thing, you take your temperature every morning. Every morning your temperature tells you whether you are like on your peak of ovulation, or it's like one of those days where you're not, you know, like really ovulating, or it's just one of those normal days. And you have to take it very, like the moment you wake up you have to take it. And for me, I would forget. I would wake up, I would do everything that I need to do, and then I go like, oh, there it goes, I forgot. So I couldn't continue to take it. On another note, I use this mascara, and I'm calling it out. This mascara, I'll show you pictures when it just affected my eyes. I'll show you the pictures. It was horrible, 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 horrible. So I'm not going to put any mascara right now. This one, I reacted to it so badly. This is why you need to know, like, what is the last thing you had, or what is the last thing you ate, or just be a very particular person, especially if you're growing older. Be very particular about your body, because you need to understand your body. You need to know your body. Anyway, back to the period. So there's that one that you take your temperature. We tried that. I wasn't very good with taking temperature. We still have the thermometer, but I don't use it. I only use it when I'm sick. That's how I know I'm sick. Especially when it comes to period and all of this. The only thing that makes me angry about the society that we're in right now is there's a certain group of people who will come and say that we can have period too. You know, the alphabet community that are interchanging into the women, and then they say that they can have period. And I'm like, you don't understand what we go through. You don't understand that we diarrhea, you know, we get really bad aches, like really, like not just a cramp that just, you know, there's people who think that it's just a cramp that just passed on this side and then it went on this side and then it's good. It's a cramp. It's horrible. It's just horrible, the amount of pain we have to go through. So for me, I usually feel like it's very, like, they are ridiculing women. And being a woman right now, like, even for me to come here and say this community is making women feel like not women, because everybody wants to say you can be cancelled. And I could be cancelled for this video. I don't know, I could be, but for me, I was born and brought up a woman. I know what it feels like to be a woman. I know how it feels like to be a woman, and I know what kind of struggles we have to go through. You know, we go through a lot of struggles as women just for us to be able to get equal pay. When I was working in Kenya, for me to be able to get equal pay with a man, that was a battle. It was a fight. You know, you would have to state your case. You would have to, because women are just not particularly up there on the, what is it called, on the corporate whatever company stuff things. So everything about being a woman is like a struggle. This, the way they try to glamorize, and that's the word I would use, For me, the way I see the community do it, they try to glamorize being a woman with makeup and dressing, but that's not all of it. It's not about the dressing. It's not how we get to dress. It's not how we get to wear makeup. It's what we really feel like. You go through estrogen, rising and falling. You go, and when your estrogen rises and when it falls, there goes your emotions. You don't even know how you feel. Like, you get to a point where you don't even understand what you feel. You know you're angry, but you don't know for what reason, for what purpose. You're just angry. You are just angry because it is that time of the month, or you're just super duper happy. You have cravings like a pregnant woman. You're constantly craving something, and you're like, on a normal day I probably wouldn't be craving something like this, and then once you get bloated, like you get really bloated, your stomach just goes from being super duper flat to just being overly big overnight, and you're like, what happened? And you have to go live with that for days. And then if you're wearing a pad, it's like hot down there sometimes, and you're like, you have to continue walking. That's probably the time that you really don't even want to leave the house, because it's just hot down there, and then I don't know about the tampon, because I've never worn a tampon, so I don't know how uncomfortable or comfortable a tampon is. I cannot speak for a tampon, but I know it's just very uncomfortable, and I've seen the way the tampons, they grow, those things grow inside there. They grow, and then it's very hard to be a woman. So the way some people, they try to glamorize being a woman by, this is something I don't want to get into, but I feel like somebody needs to get into. Somebody needs to have the voice for women. It's very important that I don't want my voice to die down because I want to be politically correct for somebody else. Like, for example, this is just an example. Somebody gets they say it's a gender affirming surgery. So what are you affirming if we cannot really say what is a woman? We've gotten to a point where we cannot say what is a woman, especially here in America. That's a question that if you ask somebody, what is a woman? They say a woman is someone who identifies as a woman. Then you go and you get a gender affirming surgery. So if it's an affirmation, why are you affirming as a woman if we cannot define what a woman is? At this point, that never makes sense to me at all. Like, just at all. It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I digress. We were talking about period. It's just because when you start talking about stuff like this, and you get down to you boil it down to the what we experience, how we feel, how much pain we go through. And I know that they are in some sort of some hormones, which the hormone treatment, sometimes it gives them some sort of cramping, which is what I have learned. Scientifically, it gives them some sort of cramping, and then their association with that cramping is that at the time, that's the time of the month. And I'm like, you don't understand. We get pimples, my friend. We get breakouts. We get breakouts. And it's not the nice kind. It's the kind that says, here I am in the middle of your forehead, you're on your period, and everybody now knows you're on your period. I just don't know. There's no middle ground with that, with especially the alphabet community, because they will defend it to their death if they want to. But for me, I was born a woman. I respect every woman, and I know there's women I'm telling you, once you start this it becomes like a rabbit hole, and then they'll start saying, what about those women who are not born with what is it called, with an ovary, or the eggs, or the stuff, or the this, or the that, and then it becomes like a whole thing. But I would appreciate, there was a time women were fighting for their rights to have equal pay. But right now, women are fighting to be known as women, not to be forgotten, not to share the same bathroom as people who were not born as women. Because for me, it's very detrimental for me if I have a child who is a girl child and I'm going to a public bathroom. Generally, I'll be scared of, even if you are very genuine and you're saying I am genuinely not a person who would harm a child, genuinely, I would not trust you with my child if you had transitioned into a woman. Genuinely, just out of fear that there's that part of you, there's just down to the DNA, there's just that part of you that is not like me. So this, like I said, this is a rabbit hole, period. This is those kind of videos that people say, I'm going to be too scared to post because I'll be cancelled. Okay, Jesus was cancelled too, and he was cancelled. They crucified him, they cancelled him, they said what you're bringing here is not. And I'm sure the world is going to a place where women cannot even say they're women anymore. You know, right now when you go to put in your name, when you're going to put in your name, they say, what do you identify as? Do you identify as male, female, he, she, him, they, them? Like, there's so many things. And then you go somewhere where somebody is working and then they tell you, like, sometimes I don't even understand, how do I communicate with you when you're saying that you're a they, them? I don't understand it. And this is not coming from a place of hate, it's coming from a place of, I do not understand how I can refer to you as they or them. Because for me, when I was growing up in Kenya, that was English for plural personalities. They, them, plural. I, me, singular. You know, she, singular. Him, singular. Like a person. Now it's just singular. That's my point, is that there's things that we can't really understand. Anyway guys, this is the makeup that I'm doing. Do you see how simple it is? It's the kind that I just don't want people to realize. Are you putting on makeup? And then I usually watch this lady called Candace. I don't know why I can't say her name. I'm going to place her here. Her name is Candace Owens, and she is very, very famous or infamous. I don't know. She's, you know, sometimes I listen to her, and sometimes the things that she says, I'm like, yeah, I agree with you 100%. And it's so unfortunate that we have come to a place where we have to be silenced for saying I was actually born a woman. That just is crazy. It's just super crazy. I was born a woman, and I would prefer that nobody starts trying to have another description of what I am based off of I need to make them happy. So anyway, like I was saying, I use pads. I do not use tampons because I just feel like inserting anything there. Also, there's this thing. It's like, how do I put this? If something is in our generation and we are the ones who are starting it, like for example, I know tampons, they're not like very young in the market. There's been people who have been using it for a while, but it feels like a tampon is in its testing era, so that people know, oh, actually when you use it, when people who use it, you know how Netflix, they usually come with these documentaries where people used to use this, they now have this, and they now are sick with this, and they now are da-da-da-da. I usually say I don't want to be a case study. Like, I don't want to be a case study, so I would rather be safe than sorry. And the safest for me is a pad, because it's not going in, it's just receiving what's coming from my body. And yeah, because a tampon is cotton, and cotton sometimes can, that's just my thought process, okay? I'm not saying that that's what's happening to you. I'm just saying tampon is cotton, and cotton can sometimes break down, you know. And so I'm thinking sometimes maybe when you pull it, it could have like little bits of it left on your inside area. I don't know, that's my thought process. Sometimes like I said, I overthink, and my husband my husband knows this. When I start thinking about something, I can tend to overthink about that thing. So, and I always say I don't want to be a case study, which is why when I was looking for whatever birth control works for us, everyone that I was seeing had its own side effect. There were people who had the IUD, the one that, you know, is inserted in there. They kept saying that they had horrible abdominal pain, and to the point where they had to go back to the hospital for it to be removed. And then there were people who were saying it could hurt the baby if you get pregnant by accident. When you go down the whole nitty-gritty list, then you find that there's people who've actually had ovarian cancer because of either taking birth control, especially when you go to TikTok, because people on TikTok tell their life stories with these things. So when you go on TikTok now, you're finding people who've actually, it's not like someone who went down and sat down and wrote it down. No, it's somebody who's on the video. They're saying, this is actually what I went through when I was on birth control. And unfortunately, right now, birth control is given to so many women of different ages, and some women are getting on birth control very young, like super duper young, which is what I thank God for. I didn't have to get on birth control at a very young age. I had a mom who just kept on saying, if you had an African mom, you know. So yeah, with that being said, I really do not have a method apart from the counting the days. I think God made periods to be a blessing to women, to be able to know that you have your fertile days, you have your days where you're good, you're safe, and we take it as it is, as it comes. That's it. We take it as it comes. It is a good thing. So don't and if you feel like your period is just a little bit too much, because for me, I don't have, so when we talk about flow, for me, I have a very medium to light flow. I don't use like the big chunky, like, hold on, let me just show you what I use. When I came here, I use Cortex, because Cortex is the only one that I found that does not make me itch down there. Always pad, like the always pad use, I don't know, it always made me itch. I just would feel very uncomfortable. And this is a wingless pad, so it doesn't have wings. It literally comes like this, like that. And I find those that are, you can see how thin it is. That's my period. So it's very thin. So there's one always that I found, that actually does not make me itch. It is this always, because it is pure cotton. You see that? And I was like, oh, it's pure cotton with nothing else. So it's pure cotton, and it's true, it doesn't make me like, so this is what it doesn't make me itch. That's what I'm trying to say. So this is what I actually use, always pure cotton. This one has wings, but then there's another one that does not come with wings. My husband is actually the one who went and got it for me. He did not remember to get the wingless one, so what can I do? I can't complain, I was on my period. So yeah, and then at night, hold on, my day 1 and my day 2 are usually like the heavy ones, and so especially the day it starts and the next day. So every night, this is what I'll use to sleep with. It is the always period underwear. It's literally an underwear, you see that, and I sleep with it. I'm just done with it. It's just the box. I'm going to throw it out, but this is what I use. It's very comfortable for nighttime, and you don't get those leaks on the side. You don't get those side leaks from the pad, especially at night, because I used to suffer with that, like a lot of side leaks, and then the side of your underwear has a little bit of blood. You know, that's another struggle. Like, you wake up in the middle of the night and sometimes your bed is like soaked with blood, and you have to like wake up in the middle of the night to get the shit out of the bed because you messed up the bed, and you can't, like, I don't know anyone who would go back into their bed and sleep on the blood, but I can't imagine just going back to bed and sleeping on the blood. You have to wake up, you get the blood off the bed, and imagine tomorrow you're actually going to work. You know, and you struggle with that too, because you had to get up to get the blood out of the bed, and then put new sheets, and then go back to sleep, and then be in a place where you can wake up the next morning. The struggle is actually real. So yeah, I don't get very heavy flow, so I use a very thin pad. Then how often do I change the pad? I think I wouldn't call it OCD. So here's the thing, for me, every day, with or without my period, I shower in the morning and then I shower in the evening. I'll shower when I wake up, and then I'll shower when I go to bed. And Benjamin, I always make Benjamin do that too, 3 or 4 times a day, because I also have a very light flow. So yeah, you know, I know there's places where kids or women cannot afford to buy pads, so they use the reusable pad, and that's understandable. It really is, it's understandable. And there was a time I actually wanted to make myself I wanted to sew, like, in the sewing machine. I wanted to try sewing the reusable pads, but I didn't know how to make them. So considering I change too much, I feel like you would have to have so many of them to be able to change. So yeah, I know there's people who can afford to have a pad. So anyway guys, so that's it on the period drama and the period nitty-gritties. And I'm going to finish off this look. As you can see, it's very simple. I'm going to put on like a lip gloss, and that's it. You couldn't tell I have makeup on. I wanted to put on mascara, but I can't because I had a very bad allergic reaction to the one I used. Yeah, if there's anything that I've left out, guys, please comment down below. Let me know how your period is like. I know that people who have fibroids, they get like the worst periods. My heart goes out to you if you have fibroids, and if you do, comment down below. I'll pray for you. Just let me know. I'll be in a place of prayer for you, so that I can pray for people who have that. It's, you know, in the name of Jesus, be healed. You know, that's one of the, I know that women who have it, they struggle so much. Like, it's a lot of struggle. It's a lot of struggle. I've seen it. It's just too much struggle. So yeah guys, I think period for everybody looks different, and I think there's people who and that's why when people try to glamorize what being a woman is a very beautiful thing, because we were created by God to be helpers, you know, to help our significant other, to be like the Holy Spirit. And that is a beautiful thing, to be a helper, to be provided for, to be a gem, like a precious gem. But also it doesn't mean that because we have that preciousness, it doesn't have its sides where there's sides where it's ugly. You know, we struggle for most of what we have. We struggle to be even included in a place where you are working the same job the man is working, but you're not having equal pay. There's no equal pay. And if we were in a world where back in the day where women were not working and it was all solely dependent on a man to, because there's for example, there's single mothers, you know, and this single mother is probably working the same job that this man is doing, and they're not being paid the same, and she has to take care of her kids. So there's that. There could be so many things that a woman is doing, but they're not being recognized for what they're doing. And I'm not trying to like put a woman above a man. No. I'm just trying to say that there's some things we cannot glamorize just because being a woman is equals to taking care of your nails, doing makeup, you know, putting on mascara, putting on this. No, there's so much that comes with it. There's so much about our health, about our body. There's so many things. There's a connection between our brains, our breasts, our, you know, all of these things. There's just so many things that people really don't know what it actually really is to be one. Possibly somebody feels like that's how they were born. I don't know. Possibly. But thank God for the Holy Spirit who lives within me, who, you know, the Bible says you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. And I know there's one truth, and we cannot change that truth, unfortunately, even if we wanted to. You know, it's like saying if there's a stop sign and the stop sign says you need to stop before your car moves forward, right? Do you just move forward? No, you have to actually do what the stop sign is saying. Otherwise you'll get arrested by the policeman who is probably just sitting somewhere. The American police, they'll just be sitting somewhere quiet, and then you just run the red light. You will not know where they came from, but they're behind you. So yeah, that's what I mean by there's a truth, and we can't run away from that truth. The truth is in the DNA. The truth is in the Bible. The truth is in the commandments. That's where I find my truth. If I offended somebody, I would say sorry, not sorry, because If you want to live your truth, then I have to be able to live my truth. Okay? It's not people have opinions, and we can't be shut down because we also have an opinion. I think that's the worst thing possible. You are given a title that you have a phobia for something because you have an opinion, but they have their opinion. Why can't we women have our own opinion and be in a place where we can hold that opinion without being somebody throwing rocks at us because we had an opinion? If I'm going to raise my kids in this society, I want them to have an opinion, and I don't want them to just pull down and be somewhere in the corner like scared because somebody is not going to be happy about that opinion. No, you have to stand your ground, and this is me standing my ground. Standing my ground. So yeah, guys, pray for me so that I don't get cancelled. But we gotta live our own truth, right? So I'm going to finish this off. So I usually use this. Actually, this is actually really good. When I first got it, I hated it because I didn't know how to use it. It is a charcoal setting spray. It's a charcoal setting spray, but you have to vigorously shake it before you spray it all over your face. So I usually go in with this. This is just like a basic, it's the Bear With Me from NYX. It's very basic and it gives that dewy look, but this one has that matte look, and when you spray this, you don't feel like you have any makeup on your face. But this one, sometimes I feel like I do have that layer of makeup on my face. So I'm just going to spray this fast. And then we're going to let that, and then I'm going to shake this, and just before this one, the other one dries, you can wait for it to dry, you don't have to, but I'll just shake. And then there we go. I'm almost out. Actually, somebody asked me what spray do I use over my body. I use this. Everywhere I go, everybody's like, you smell really nice. You know, my husband got me this for Christmas, and it is called that. I don't know if you can see it. That's the name. It's Jean Paul Golta Label, and they have it in different smells, but this one was my favorite. So it's kind of like a pink, you know, and it has that boudoir thing. I love what it smells like. And then it comes with this travel size, which I haven't used because we haven't traveled in a while. Let me show you my collection. So I got Benjamin this is probably one of the most random vlogs that you have experienced with me. I got Benjamin this. It smells so nice. It's Ocean. This one is by Bath and Body Works. So if you go to Bath and Body Works and you get this, it's actually really good. My husband is the type who doesn't really care for this kinds of things, so I'm the one who kind of introduced him to it, and I didn't want him to get something super duper expensive and he doesn't put it on. But to my surprise, when he goes to work, he actually sprays it. So I think I'm sure he likes it. But you know, like when you get something for your husband, you don't want to like be obvious, like, you know, you like it. I usually just sit in the corner, and then I'm just like, oh, my husband sprayed himself. Yes, he's using what I gave him. So yeah, this I got for him. And hold on, he usually has two. Yeah, and then there's this one. This one is Musky Oak Moss. This one is from Dossier, you see, but it's been collecting a little bit of dust. But my collection, I can't put it all in one hand. I remember this one I got as a gift. It smells really nice. It has a nice smell. This one we got from, what is this place called? This is Sparkling Hibiscus. We got it from Target. I loved what it was smelling like. Smells, I don't even know how to explain it. It just smells so nice. Like, it smells like when you go somewhere, somebody's like, whoa, what was that? This is that smell. It's very beautiful smell. So this is the most expensive one that I have here. But don't sleep on the cheap ones. Me, I'll tell you this. You know, there's people who are always constantly on the most designer thing they can get. That's not my personality. I always feel like if you can get it for a cheaper price, feel good about yourself, because you're not trying to impress anybody else. It's usually mostly about you and what makes you happy. If you have to make other people happy, you're a people pleaser. And I had to sit down with myself with that and sit and think, am I a people pleaser? Or am I doing things because I like it myself? Which is why when you watch our videos, I don't try to please people. I don't try to please people with what we do. I try to be as articulate as possible with my personality, because I don't want you to meet me and then meet another side of me. And then when you get to know me, you're like, oh, she was actually really pretending. No. You will see my friends, when the friends who really know me, they know that the me on camera and the me without the camera, same person. I can't and then so this and this are actually the same. They're from the same company. I loved them. This is whipped almond. I don't know why, I just love an almond smell. And so when I love almonds. I love eating almonds. So when I saw the almond, I was like, what does almond spray smell? It smells like expensive almond. That's what I'll say. Those two I got from Target. And then so this all these other ones are from Dossier, as you can see. And there's a fifth one. I think that one's for Benjamin. So these ones are all from Dossier. This one is ambery saffron. I love it. It has that kind of like a very girly but not too girly kind of smell. Girly, that's what I'm trying to say, in case. And then this one is citrus ginger. I feel like me and Benjamin, we wear it sometimes. And then this is fruity jasmine. I love it, but it's a little bit too fruity for me. You know, I know there's people who love like the fruity smell, but I don't like to be too fruity, so it's too fruity. And then as you can see, I have been using this one quite a bit. This is the Florential vanilla, as you can see right there. So there's that. And then I got this. So this is actually this. It's the almond. It's the whipped almond. This is the body spray, and then this is the actual spray for the spray, you know. So yeah. Oh, and then I have this other body sprays. These ones I got them from Walmart. Yeah, this Key West. Actually, this one was not from Walmart. This one was from Bath and Body Works. It actually is so good. Yeah, it's from Bath and Body Works. Yeah, I love coconut smell. So if you are around me, sometimes you'll be smelling coconut. I know there's people who say you must have like a, what is it called, like a key fragrance that people know, like, oh, Akinyi was here. My dad has a key fragrance, so anywhere he would walk, everybody would know my dad has passed by. Yeah, but I think here I'm just trying to play around with the different smells. This is sweet, like it literally says what it's called, sweet pea. It's literally a sweet smell, and I don't know what's in it. It's raspberry something, but I love what it smells like. And then this one is a body mist also. It is daisy peach. It's like a peachy smell, but it smells so nice. Sometimes I put it over my, like, I love it. I just love it. So yeah, there goes my, you know, my spray collection, so to speak. Oh, the last ones are from Scent. Ooh, they have been collecting a little bit of dust, so if they're dusty, this is from Scent Bag. This is one of my favorites. I use this mostly when I travel. I love it because they are all travel size. I use it when I travel. So I have this one, New York, and then this one is, wait, it's called Scent Bag New York. I just don't know their names, but this black one, I will find the name and I'll put it in the description box. Is my favorite smell. I use it only when we travel. Only, that's why it's collecting dust. So yeah, Alright guys, that's it for the video today. If you're not yet subscribed, please click on the subscribe button. Please click on the bell notification button so that you're notified every time we upload a new video. And also don't forget that God is good all the time. If there's something that I have said that has rubbed you the wrong way, I mean, I don't know. If it's about the alphabet community, I do not have an apology for that, because I feel like really you cannot truly understand. If somebody said they had cancer, you can only imagine what they're feeling. You don't know what exactly they are feeling. That's it. So I don't know, I can't apologize for that. But other than that, if there's something else that I say that is not friendly, please comment down below. If I said all the right things, also comment down below. I would also like to hear your opinion, guys. Your opinion counts to me, because I want to know that I'm not the only one who thinks like this. So please let me know your opinion down below. Also let me know which one was your favorite fragrance, and also let me know about this look. If you met me like, because this is what you would meet me like if I was running errands in the store. This is how I would look like. I wouldn't look like I'm wearing anything, and sometimes I don't put on makeup. Well, most times I don't put on makeup when I am running errands at the store. I am so thankful that you joined this video, and I'll see you on the next one. I am just waiting for Benjamin to come home. I think I'm going to just do this one, you know. Love it. And there's a trick that I learned from Jackie Aina. She usually sprays her hair so that when somebody is hugging you, all they smell is you. If you're done with doing makeup, always remember to wash your hands, because you don't want to touch your clothes with either a makeup that mistakenly went on your hands and you didn't know. So if you're wondering, these are my favorite lip. This is a glossy one and this is a matte one, but they're not the same color, but they're almost the same color. It's like a shade of brown, and I love them both equally. I just need a brown pencil and I'm good to go.
Yes, I'm coming home right now. Are you ready?
Babe.
Akinyi.
Who is there with you?
Marvin and Tony.
Say hi.
Akinyi says hello.
Hi, Akinyi, I miss you.
Did you hear them?
I did hear them. Tell them I miss them too.
She's giggling and she says she misses you too.
I don't believe it.
Well, babe, make them believe it. Okay, babe, I'll see you when you get home.
Oh yeah, it'll be wonderful. It'll be wonderful.